When a woman starts creating distance, it usually isn't because she's confused. More often, she's watching closely, paying attention to how you react once her energy changes. Most men fail at this stage almost immediately, not because they lack value, but because nobody ever taught them the silent rules behind attraction. The second she becomes cold, stops reaching out, or acts like you're no longer important, your emotions take over. You start leaning forward, sending more messages, trying to repair the situation, and without noticing it, you slowly destroy the remaining attraction she still had for you. Because distance is rarely random. It's a message without words. The harsh reality is this: attraction expands through space, not pressure. The harder you try to close the emotional gap she created, the more you reinforce her choice to pull away. You show her that your emotional stability depends on her attention, and dependency quickly kills respect. Think about who you were when things felt easy between you. When she was affectionate and present, you were calm, centered. You weren't chasing her approval. That relaxed version of you is exactly what attracted her in the beginning. But the moment she steps back, you abandon that version of yourself. Suddenly you become reactive, anxious, overly available in ways you barely notice, and she senses it immediately. Women notice emotional energy far more than words. It's not just about what you say, it's about the feeling behind it. You could send the perfect text, but if it's driven by fear or insecurity, she will feel it instantly. And the moment she senses you're trying to regain control, she distances herself even more. So what should you actually do? Nothing. But not weak silence. Powerful silence. You don't chase after her. You don't interrogate her about why she's distant. You don't desperately try to pull her back. Instead, you return your focus to your own life and become unavailable in the same calm way she became unavailable to you. This is where many men get it wrong. They think silence is some trick to make her come back. It isn't. If you're pretending, she will sense that too. This only works when your detachment is genuine, when you truly stop obsessing over the outcome. Because the second you stop needing her validation, you regain control over yourself. And that's the only control that ever truly mattered. When she ignores you, she's often expecting an emotional reaction. She expects you to chase, to question her, to ask what happened. And when you don't respond emotionally, the dynamic changes. Now she's the one dealing with uncertainty. Suddenly you become unpredictable again, and unpredictability creates attraction. But there's another layer most people never understand. Her distance is not always entirely about you. Sometimes she's battling her own emotions, confusion, or internal struggles. And when you rush in trying to fix everything, you involve yourself in something you were never meant to control. You become emotional noise. But when you step away, you give her room to think and, more importantly, room to feel your absence. Absence has power, not because it's manipulation, but because it creates clarity. When you're constantly available, she never has to imagine losing you. There is no tension, no emotional contrast. But when you quietly disappear with confidence, an empty space appears, and people naturally notice what's missing more than what's always there. This is the moment the energy begins to shift. Now she's wondering why you didn't react, why you didn't chase her attention. Did you move on? Did your interest fade? Is someone else occupying your focus now? And slowly, the emotional investment starts leaning back toward you. But this only happens when your silence is clean. No emotional social media posts, no indirect messages, no random attempts to remind her you exist, no subtle ways of staying visible, because those small actions expose weakness in your frame. And once she notices those cracks, the image of your strength disappears. Real silence means stepping away completely, mentally, emotionally, and digitally. You redirect your attention toward your goals, your work, your growth, your purpose, not to impress her, but to reconnect with the person you were before your world started revolving around her. And this part requires discipline most men don't have. You must become comfortable with the possibility of losing her, because if your silence is only a strategy, while you secretly wait and hope, then you're still emotionally attached to an outcome you cannot control. Eventually, that energy always reveals itself. But once you reach the point where her return feels optional instead of necessary, something changes inside you. You become calm again, grounded, detached, quietly powerful. That's the version of you she felt drawn to from the very start. And if she eventually returns, don't instantly reward her with unlimited attention.